What's up, Space Pirates? This is your Admiral, the Dread Pirate Dr. Disaster, and the leak that I'm going to show you from Ubisoft and Assassin's Creed Shadows will likely have you doing one of two things after I show it to you. Either you will react like this, or I expect you will react with one of these.
What the hell is even that?
I suppose I can see a world where you react with both, because the leak is so damned absurd. It gets old talking about Assassin's Creed Shadows, but these morons at Ubisoft are not making a video game so much as they're putting together an activistic vanity project for this team here of progressive lunatics who work at the studio masquerading as developers. Case in point, we have a leak from Ubisoft of the supposed art book that is coming out for it, which has been taken down, but we've got some images from it, and as you can see, it presents a motley crew of allies, which represents the modern audience in all of its diversity.
What in the hell's diversity?
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
The page where this was leaked is no longer up, but I managed to grab this image anyhow. Let me read this caption to you for Ibuki, but I warn you to prepare the muscles of your cringe face. It describes this character saying, free-spirited, rebellious, yet joyful by nature, this recruitable ally is a solitary ronin who came from a clan of obedient samurai but now follows a unique moral compass. They were well trained. They, as in this sad sack of shit here, does not go by traditional pronouns.
You were literally too stupid to insult.
At this point, the game is so far gone, I find myself hoping for the biggest train wreck possible, just to provide me with maximum amusement. My fervent hope is that not only does this language, referring to a singular person as they, hopefully it shows up in more than just the art book. I could see these chicken shits refusing to put this language into the game, but more than anything, when it releases, I will laugh my ass off if there are clips where people in feudal Japan adhere to this modern day ideology as they try to propagandize us and normalize it. But one thing is for sure, these jackanapes at Ubisoft just do not understand normal people.
I feel like you just agreed with me, but you weren't listening to what I was saying.
Yes.
Is he listening to it? I can't tell.
He's listening. He's not understanding.
Yeah, he doesn't even get us, man. We're talking about you.
Alright, me hearties, make sure that you hit the like button on this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and also, don't forget to follow me over on X, where my handle is Dr. Disaster 1. But anyhow, let's talk about this supposed leak from Assassin's Creed Shadows and how completely out of touch the people at Ubisoft are. If you ever needed an example of these activistic fakers being locked in their own echo chamber bubble, then this is it. Somebody somewhere thought that introducing gender ideological crap into a video game about the old days of Japan was a stellar idea. But it wasn't just this gender stuff, which is bad enough, mind you, but it wasn't just that garbage, which has me shaking my head. I'm sure you guys remember this poster here that came out a little while ago where they pushed Yasuki into the background and it looked like this little kid was the main character of the story with the way that they portrayed this poster. Well, the art book images give us a bit more of the background information on this child character, and it is eye-rolling as hell for anyone with even an ounce of normality. The character's name is Junjiro, and it says, he is an 8-year-old bundle of relentless positivity who lives in a crumbling old temple with his guardian, the aged monk, Soren. After he found Naue near death, they nurse her back to health, and he becomes the mascot of Naue and Yasuki's League of Allies. Despite losing his father to Naue's sword, the boy finds a well of forgiveness and eventually sees her as a sister. Are you kidding me right now? Unless his dad was like violent with him or something, there is no way that an 8-year-old is going to forgive someone and join forces with the person who killed his dad. There's no damn way. Hell, even if his dad was violent with him, there's still a strong chance that he'd be forever furious at this happening. Imagine the level of delusion that it takes to believe that this toxic positivity is a real thing that happens in the real world, and that no matter what a girl boss does, people love them for it. Everyone is just walking along in our lives when out of nowhere, one of these girl bosses swoops in, strikes down a family member, and of course, we just shrug our shoulders and go, well, if the girl boss killed him, then he probably had it coming. He always was a bit of an a-hole. And more than that, not only is this girl boss justified in what she's doing, actually, we all totally want to be their mascots after killing our family member. We all think, I'm gonna go tell everyone how great she is. Now, think about the level of narcissism that this reveals from these feminist schmucks who wrote this drivel. I'm convinced that this is literally how they view themselves and how they view the rest of us. But you know what? I am sick of this kind of shit. I'm sick of these stories where they take away the families of kids and replace them with a bunch of strangers. It doesn't work like that. People are not interchangeable, and these morons don't understand that for the vast bulk of humanity, family is the most important link in our lives, even for an 8-year-old. But most of these people don't have families, and they certainly don't have kids, which is quite obvious. And don't get me wrong, I understand that sometimes adoptions happen and mixed families happen. I'm not saying that they don't, but to try to take away the importance of family like this is absolutely absurd. And may I also say, I despise how the kid is described as having relentless positivity. And at the end of the passage here, it says his optimism and empathy help Naue turn her own hunger for vengeance into benevolence. It's just unreal how these people simply don't understand people, and how they think this toxic positivity shit is how people actually behave and how they actually think. And one last disturbing detail, which highlights the absurdity of what I'm talking about here. Look at this X-post from Madame Savvy from a few weeks back. She wrote, I'd like to remind everyone that Ubisoft's expert consultant on Japan for this game was a woman who focused on writing about monks and their obsession for young boys. She talked about transgenerational love. I read some of it, and it's a bit disturbing how she frames things. This person has very little to do with, if none at all, actual historical events, and of course has a gender and sex focus instead of just a truth focus. And why is this important? Well, if we look at this description of this kid again, would you look at that? Now that his parent has been killed, he's living with a monk. Isn't that just wonderful and convenient, coming from a game that was consulted on by this expert obsessed with monks and their obsession for young boys? These people just think everyone is either plugged into their weird gender shit or that we will all turn a blind eye to it because we just can't say no to a game with Assassin's Creed in its title. Well, I have to say, I am really hopeful that these jackasses at Ubisoft get the proper comeuppance, and so far, it isn't looking good for them on Steam. we are a month and a half out from the game's release, and they are no longer even in the top 200 bestsellers on the platform as they continue to go backwards. My guess is that there was that initial push from the die-hard Assassin's Creed fans who just can't say no, the cultural auto intake crowd. A large chunk of the people who would still want to play this game are the ones who would pre-order immediately, which is what they did last week when the game first became available on pre-order. But everyone else is looking at leaks like this and going, nah, I'm good. But we'll see. In any case, I'm going to leave it there. Drop some contempt for the developers of Assassin's Creed Shadows into the comment section below, and we will talk there. Thanks for watching, me hearties. If you haven't already, your Admiral is inviting you to subscribe to the channel and become a part of the crew. Life as a space pirate may not be glamorous, but there's always plenty of booty.